Hey creators, I'm Pam with AcrylicMeThat. Today we're going to dive into how to prep and cut the stunning, textured, chunky glitter hybrid acrylic sheets. This unique material has a dazzling flair to any project, but it does take a few special steps in order to get the perfect cut. So stick around to learn how to prepare it, avoid any mistakes, and to truly learn how to make your projects sparkle.
Textured chunky glitter hybrid acrylic sheets bring any creation to life, but they need careful handling to preserve their beauty. I'll walk you through the preparation and laser settings that make all the difference.
Here are a few items that you're going to need for this tutorial. You're going to need 2 types of brushes. One with more of a coarse type bristle, and then the other one will have a soft type bristle. Since I'm a painter, I have tons of these around, but makeup brushes also work great. So if you have tons of extra brushes like I do under the sink, then definitely you can use those as well without having to go and spend extra money at the store. And before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you can get up to date on more tips, techniques, and how-tos. Now, let's get started.
Here's an important reminder before we get started. Always do a small test cut to check your laser settings. Each laser machine is a little different, whether it's newer, older, clean, or needs to be wiped down. Doing a test cut can help prevent mistakes. Raised chunky glitter hybrid acrylic sheets don't engrave well, so we don't recommend it. However, our smooth micro glitter hybrid acrylic sheets are perfect for engraving if you want that extra detail.
For the laser settings, check out the link provided in the comments below, or on the hybrid acrylic tutorial page to see the laser settings for the various machines we've been able to test on. If you don't see your laser listed, here are some tips to help you narrow in on the best settings for your particular machine.
Here's some guidance for diode laser owners. The best practice when using your diode laser with these fun hybrid acrylic sheets is to slightly increase the power for what you would normally use to cut a 1/8 inch black acrylic sheet. You then want to significantly increase your speed and increase the number of your passes. The goal is to give enough power to break through the additional thickness of the decorative top with a speed that allows enough heat to cut through the sheet without burning the edges of your design. Due to the faster speed, additional passes are necessary to cut all the way through to the back of the acrylic sheet. Here's an example scenario for those who have diode lasers with wattages that are not currently listed on our cut and engrave settings chart. The 5-watt Glowforge Aura and Spark diode laser settings for medium thickness black acrylic sheet, which is generally used for a 1/8 inch thick black acrylic sheet, is 13 speed, 7 power, and 3 passes. The settings determined to cut the chunky glitter hybrid acrylic sheets was reconfigured to 15 speed, 10 power, and 8 passes for smaller cuts, and 9 passes for larger cuts. This balance gives you a clean cut without burning the edges of your design. Here's some guidance for CO2 laser owners. You'll want to decrease the power, increase the passes, and depending on the wattage of your machine, increase the speed to avoid scorching the decorative top. The goal is to give enough power to break through the additional thickness of the decorative top with a speed that allows enough heat to cut through the sheet without burning the edges of your design. Due to the faster speed, additional passes are necessary to cut all the way through to the back of the acrylic sheet. Due to how hot CO2 lasers burn, it is best to reduce the power as to maintain the integrity of the beautiful decorative top layer. Those CO2 laser owners who have wattages currently not listed on our cut and engrave settings chart, here are some example scenarios to assist you with determining the best way to reconfigure your settings to cut your cloth, cork, and smooth micro glitter hybrid acrylic. For the 45-watt Glowforge Pro CO2 Laser, the general cut setting for medium black acrylic is 165 speed, full power, and 1 pass. The settings for Chunky Glitter Hybrid Acrylic was tested and reconfigured to maintain the same 165 speed, but the power was dropped to 85% for smaller cuts and 95% for larger cuts, and the passes were tripled to 3 passes. My suggestion for those who have the 40-watt Glowforge Basic and Plus CO2 lasers would be to run a test cut using your general default cut settings for your medium black acrylic. Drop your power to 80% and do 3 passes. If the cut does not go through, either increase your power or add an additional pass. For those laser owners who have higher wattages, we know that our CO2 lasers are high-powered and put off a lot more heat. For my 100-watt OM Tech CO2 laser, the setting I configured within the Lightburn software for the black or dark colored 1/8 inch thick acrylic is 635 speed, 35% power, and 1 pass. The settings for Chunky Glitter Hybrid Acrylic was tested and reconfigured to almost double the speed at 1250. The power was reduced to 30%, and the passes were increased to 3. I hope that this provided information will help you to narrow in on the best cut settings for your machine. Place your Chunky Glitter Hybrid Acrylic sheet at the farthest left or right of the laser bed, farthest away from the air assist fan at the back of your laser machine. This will reduce the amount of debris blown into your cut design that is generated while cutting. After cutting, you might notice some soot or smoky residue. If this happens, keep the entire acrylic in place on the laser bed to avoid glitter loss while cleaning. Grab a few paintbrushes. I like to use a larger and smaller coarse brush and a larger and smaller soft bristle brush. Using the coarse brush first, brush the edges of your cut design outward. Then use the softer brush and do the same. Do this process interchangeably until you are satisfied. If for whatever reason you had your settings configured incorrectly and your final cut came out a little like burnt toast, don't fret. I have a more extensive tutorial on my blog and YouTube channel on how to clean your project so it's usable again. Finally, lift your cut design from the laser bed. Finish up with any last-minute dusting and enjoy your beautiful creation.
Want to make your project really pop? Here's a pro tip I'd love to share with you.
Add some accent glitter to the cut edges. I like to use UV light resin glue, then sprinkle the glitter over the glue. This is great for a fast, mess-free finish. This extra sparkle can add accents and dimension, perfect for jewelry or layered pieces.
Thank you so much for watching. Now you're ready to cut the Chunky Glitter Hybrid Acrylic sheet like a pro. Let me know how your project comes out and feel free to share any settings with us that work well for you. Also, be sure to tag us on socials, that way we can brag about your beautiful creations. Happy crafting, and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so that way you can get up-to-date notifications on tips and tricks as well as new how-tos.